Hi, friends and family, and people who I have never met. Welcome to my YouTube channel. Today I'm going to share something very personal. I have made this video to bring insight on the life of kids who lost their mothers at a young age. Usually, we don't like to walk back to our painful memories, do we? But I believe this video is going to help someone who is watching. It might be you. I promise not to end the video in a sad conclusion. I am healed from the pain of motherlessness, and walking back is necessary for this healing. Here is a series of videos I'm making with the help of my relationship with God. Watch all of the parts to this video to find out. Life without a mother is a vast topic. I would like to elaborate on a very sensitive feeling involved in this topic, childhood grief. Holy Spirit, help me to research Bible and other psychological journals to heal myself from this feeling. The idea of this video was downloaded to my heart in November 2017. So, let's jump in. The intensity and time period we feel grief depends on a lot of factors, like the age in which we lost a parent, the support we got during time of grief to recover, and our emotional ability or resilience to handle traumatic events in life. I realize it's high time I make this video as I see so many kids losing their mothers these days. The content in this video is referred from my own life and others I met along the journey. I'm sure this video will help those who grew up without mothers and also carers who are struggling to look after kids without mothers. Like I mentioned before, kids who have lost moms at different age faces different scenarios of grief stages. That is, life scenario emotions of losing a mother at 3 years is different to losing a mother at 36 years. This is because each child is at different development stage at the time of mother's death. Their needs from a mother is different at different ages. Let me tell you my story. I was 3.5 years old when my mom died. On 1989, May 26th, my mom died of static asthmaticus or asthma. This event changed the entire course of my life. My memories of my mom were not of her presence, but of her absence in countless moments of my life when I needed her the most. My aunt used to say, having no mother in your childhood is like standing your whole life under a withered tree for shade in the storms of life. Of course, we feel so unprotected and insecure. So, what hurt me the most in childhood? Well, there's a long list of things. I cannot do justice in explaining it, but here are some of them. Watching Johnson & Johnson's ad on TV, mother soothes a baby in church, neatly packed lunch boxes of classmates in school, neatly plaited hair of friends in school, moms holding their kids' hands on the way to school, neighbor's mom serving home-cooked evening snacks to her kids after school, lullaby or motherly songs in Indian films, films with orphaned kids or mothers dying, etc., etc. So many things hurt a child without a mother. Not a single day passes by without thinking about the emptiness I felt without a mother from a tender age. How did grief feel like as a child? It felt like an overwhelming feeling of lack merged with self-pity that I couldn't shake off in any way possible. It followed me around since childhood wherever I went. It felt like a disability that stayed with me like a missing part of my body. It prevented me from growing emotionally. I remember that my heart always felt an emptiness or hopelessness most of the time as a child. A sharp, stingy feeling like an arrow piercing my heart was experienced whenever I miss my mom. Due to the tragedy I went through, my child brain always expected another tragedy to happen every day I woke up. The child without a mother feels confused, cursed, insecure, weak, painful, incomplete, lonely, rejected, etc. These feelings are so constant that the child carries a crushed spirit from a young age. The overwhelming feeling to see my mom for one last time is so much that I used to cry to God to give my mother back for a quick hug and that I won't tell anyone if you do. This is a natural feeling of grief, but when a child feels it, it really crushes their hope. The pain of grief is more when other things go wrong in life. For example, getting punished by teacher in school or getting bullied by a classmate brings back raw feeling of death of a mother all over again. The pain at that time feels as if the child is standing next to his or her mom's death. This pain I have named regurgitated grief, when the memory of the death causes raw pains all over again. What are the symptoms of grief? Some of the hurts that a motherless kid feels for simple punishments from teachers or dad is so much more magnified compared to how a normal kid will feel in similar situation. This is due to regurgitated grief. Research says that motherless kids get 5 times more sicknesses than normal kids, which I can relate to. I was always sick. The child loses purpose to get up in the morning to a life without mother. There is no energy to get up in the morning to a world without mother and to people who can't understand, is what goes through the child's thoughts. Carers of the child or parents misunderstand symptoms of childhood grief as laziness. Lazy to get up in the morning, to do chores, personal hygiene, looking after own things, and so on. Kitchen reminds them of the absence of mother. The lessons for a growing girl child is taught by mother around the kitchen. Lacking this interaction with mother in kitchen always results in girls having aversion towards cooking and cleaning around the kitchen area. This gets mocked and teased by family and friends, and it's extremely painful for the girl to explain that it is because of the lack of living without a mother. And they usually don't explain it. But remember, all behaviors can be modified by healing the wounds in our hearts. The motherless child believes that her identity forever will be as a motherless kid. If we notice, as years go by, you will see more sadness appear on their face. Grief causes a child to feel less motivated, irregular in school, sick on several days, lagging behind in studies, and so on. How did I think as a motherless kid? My life would have been so different and better if my mom was alive. That is, hoping for an alternate life. This won't have happened to me if my mom was alive when I got low marks in school. That is, blame shifting on everything else. Anger towards God for taking my mom away. Hating God. Never finding joy in current life. Sorry for taking you through the real and raw feelings of grief. But I had to put it out there for people who can relate. Now, let's get into the factual side of things. What is grief? Harvard Health Publishing website has designed grief as a natural response to loss. It is something that people are not prepared for, and they often struggle to understand how it can affect their lives. The death of someone we love can shake the foundation of our existence at any stage of our life. 7 stages of grief: shock, denial, anger, bargaining, depression, testing, acceptance. How can daddy help kid to heal from grief? Research shows that child copies the same coping mechanism of daddy to deal with grief. 4 ways daddies handle grief. Remember, I'm not talking about days or months. These feelings are carried forward for years. First way of handling grief is bottling up. It is suppressing real emotions of pain, voluntarily ignoring side effects of grief, not acknowledging that dad and kid needs help. Bottling up eventually comes out as depression or aggression. Second is depression. Feeling helpless and hopeless. Dads who are going through depression from grief will not be able to help self or the kid. Aggression. Dad feels angry at the unfairness of loss through death. Sometimes kids pay for dad's anger and neglect. This can cause damage to kids' mental health. Finally, there is a healthy way to deal with grief. Being supportive and patient towards kid and self. Seeking help professionally in times of need. Practicing and maintaining healthy coping mechanism without hurting self or others. Acknowledging, confronting, and being accountable for all emotions expressed. If you are a dad watching, remember, kids mirror the coping mechanism of surviving parent. This is the end of part 1 of this video. Please continue to watch part 2, which contains more steps of healing. Your feedbacks are highly appreciated. I will use it to make more of this kind of videos. Thank you again for watching. Jesus bless you.